What is going on, fam? I hope everybody is having a lovely evening. I am glad to be alive. And this is J&J Reacts Live. And shout out to Flight Sports. I think I might have thrown Flight off this morning. Yeah, I was chilling, having my morning breakfast of champions. I drink moringa powder every morning. Me and my wife Jen, we drink a couple of teaspoons down in a bottle of water. Hey, 2 teaspoons of moringa a day, baby. 2 teaspoons of moringa a day keeps everything away. I have not been sick in going on 4 years now. I don't even need to knock on wood because that stuff keeps you right. But yeah, guys, do me a favor. If you are here, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by July, and I need your help to do it. Got a lot of views on the videos, but we don't have these subscriberships. So let's get that up, babies. Please, please, please. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, so as you saw on the thumbnail, I want to give a shout out to Jassmine Pineda'S. Because it looks like she may be in the process of having her K1 visa approved. Good for her. Good for her. As you know, Jasmine and Gino was one of the couples on 90 Day Fiance before the 90 Days season 5 this past season. It just ended. And, you know, they are one of the couples that, all of them had a lot of ups and downs this season. And Jasmine and Gino definitely had their fair share of drama this season. You know, first off, you know, and I don't have the clips of it, but you know that one of the first things that you see between them is the fact that Gino is having to send Jasmine receipts everywhere he goes. And that's when you realize, oh, she's on him like white on rice. She is on him. But then as the season goes on, you find out later on that, yeah, she had a right to be that way because Gino is very sneaky. Gino likes to chit chat with females and send text messages and DMs and things like that. You know what I mean? So she got to kind of keep her eye on Gino. But you know, here's what Gino had to say right at the end of Sunday's Tell All.
To relive all the difficult moments, this gets her all fired up again. You know, I've submitted the K1 visa. Now the question is, does Jasmine want to come to the USA? Because she seemed to be questioning that today.
She seemed to be questioning whether she wanted to come into the United States on the K1 visa. Well, if we look at Screen Rant today, Jasmine's K1 visa has officially been pre-approved. So she is in the approval process. She is no longer playing the waiting game. She has been approved and or pre-approved, and you know, it's like a credit card. If you're pre-approved, chances are you're going to go ahead and be approved. You know, I can't imagine anything holding her up. So good deal for Jasmine and Gino. She can finally get to the United States. When you go on to read that article, let's see here. All right. Okay. It says, while replying to a 90 Day Fiance fan, Jassmine Pineda'S revealed that her K1 visa has been pre-approved and that she can pretty much come to the United States very soon. The 35-year-old reality star debuted on 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, and she was with her partner Gino Palazzolo. Jasmine found Gino Palazzolo on a sugar baby website, which we all know. Jasmine said that she denounced sugar baby websites, but yet we found out that a girlfriend had submitted her information, and that's how she actually ended up meeting Gino. But she was on a sugar baby website, and the duo soon fell in love. After talking to Jasmine for 9 months, Gino decided to fly to Panama, and propose to her. However, he was taken aback by his Panamanian girlfriend's extremely jealous nature. Okay? And we all saw how ballistic Jasmine can go when she's in a fit of rage over jealousy behind Gino. She called his ex-wife stupid and dumb and didn't let him tip one of the waitresses at the restaurant that they went out to. Remember that scene? She said, "Why are you tipping that waitress?" Remember when he was in the fast food spot? He hadn't even come over there yet, and he went and got food, and he was leaving out of the restaurant, and he said, "Hey, what's your name?" to the cashier that waited on him. Jasmine really let him have it, boy. When he got outside of that restaurant, Jasmine was like, why'd you have to ask her name? What was the point of that? So you knew he was going to get it. Jasmine wasn't the only one. Jasmine wasn't the only one who gave off red flags. Gino also shocked many 90 Day Fiance viewers by admitting that he, and they have in quotes, accidentally sent his girlfriend's naked pictures to one of his former partners. So, as you can see, Jasmine has lots of reasons to question whether she wants to stay in this relationship, question whether she wants to come to the United States and be with Gino, because she has this jealous nature. Gino knows that, and Gino consistently insists on putting her through this. Talking to his exes, sending DMs to other cast members' friends. Okay. Jasmine got into a wild fight with Gino and ended up snatching his hat off during one of the blow-ups. Remember that, when she snatched his hat off? But of course, Gino had his backup right there in his knapsack. So, yep, there you have it. Jasmine's visa has officially been pre-approved. She was in the chats or in the DMs with her. She had a Q&A on Instagram, and someone asked her how the process was going, and she revealed today that it was actually in pre-approval status. So it looks like Jasmine is going to be coming to the United States. And, it says here also, one of her fans asked her, and she said she was coming, but Jasmine was quite forthcoming about her immigration status, okay? And she replied, K1 has been pre-approved, okay? So it can happen at any time soon. She seems to have gotten over a lot of that stuff, though, okay? She seems to have gotten over a lot of that stuff, because from what it goes on to say is she is looking forward to coming to the United States and being with Gino and getting the process started very soon to have children. So remember, back earlier in the season, she was taking birth control pills because she didn't want to have a kid with Gino yet. She wasn't sure that she even wanted to marry him, let alone have kids with him. So she decided to go ahead and stop doing that. She does want to get married to Gino. And as you can see here on the screen from Screen Rant, her K1 visa has officially been pre-approved, and Jasmine will be on her way to the United States very soon to begin a life and family with Gino Palazzolo. So much love to them. Much congratulations. Honestly, I'd like to see them work out. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of people give gave Jasmine a hard time this season about her attitude. And then they thought, wow, she's a sugar baby after all. Is she a gold digger? But I don't see that. And one of the reasons why I said that is I saw one of her Instagram videos today, and it touched me so much. And I'm not going to share it on here because if you want, go check it out. It's on her Instagram, Jassmine Pineda, Pineda. And it touched me because it reminded me of myself so much. And she said she had been through a traumatic experience when she was younger. She didn't want to go into it, but it left her in a on and off battle with depression. And, let me tell you something. When you have been through a near death experience, and I know that Jasmine suffers with heart issues, and I do as well. I have a mitral valve prolapse. So, and here's the thing, I've never ever had an issue with it. I was always told as a kid, oh, I see, whenever I've gotten examined, oh, I see you have a heart murmur. For years, I was told it was a heart murmur, heart murmur, heart murmur. And I found out that, God, probably 75% of the people walking around on earth have heart murmurs, okay? And this one is specifically a mitral valve prolapse. I found out later in life was the specific name of the heart murmur that I had. And I have been truly blessed to not have any issues with it. Those of you that have listened to my live streams before have heard me mention that I'm currently on disability because 12 years ago, I began losing my eyesight. I lost my central vision. And, my eyesight's very blurry, or it's very bright. Let's say it's like I'm looking in sunlight. And I remember when I got checked out for it, I remember them looking at my retina and, trying to see if it was macular degeneration, trying to see if it was diabetic related, because I don't suffer with diabetes that I know of. And I don't know if I suffer with it. And I'll tell you why in a little bit. But I've just been basically living like this for the past 12 years. And I'm a vegan, so I'm very healthy. I work out 5 days a week. Okay. None of that has changed anything with my vision, by the way. So, but it is what it is. At least I'm healthy in every other way. And I've never experienced any type of weirdness with my heart other than the occasional flutter here and there, And I don't go to doctors. I don't get checkups. And some of you may be out there saying, why not? You're crazy. If you've got a health issue, you need to stay in that. No, I don't. No. The last place that I need to be is a doctor's office. Okay. This goes out directly to Jasmine because it really touched me what she was talking about on her Instagram today. And I completely related. I'm a cancer survivor. And I had cancer, let's see, 2002. This year makes the 20th anniversary of me being cancer free. And I'm going to tell you something. Up until about 4 to 5 years ago, I did not realize that I was suffering with PTSD because of it. Before that, I was invincible. I was walking around. I mean, nothing could touch me, man. I wasn't scared of shit, which I'm still not, especially now that, I've kind of come through that dark tunnel, Jasmine, and I'm on the other side of it now. And it was weird, man. I didn't realize why I all of a sudden started having panic attacks. And this was years later after the cancer. Because when I had chemo, I had about 3 months worth. I was supposed to get 6 months. I had 3 months. I ended up, my employment shut down and I lost my insurance. I only had 3 months worth of chemo. Okay. And I didn't know it then, but I was about to enter the darkest time of my life. And I didn't know it because I thought I got off scot free. I'm like, wow, woo, beat that. I had lost a whole bunch of weight. I had colon cancer. I had lost a whole bunch of weight. My manager was always saying, hey, you got to stop eating that red meat. Got to stop eating that red meat. And I'm like, yeah, you know. And I never really paid much attention to it, right? And my aunt had died from colon cancer when I was 17. And I think in the back of my mind, this is how powerful the mind is. I think my mind filed that away for it to creep back up. I think in the back of my mind, because we all have an innate fear of death. Okay. We can't help it. Okay. You don't know when it's going to happen. And we all have that, whether you will admit it or not. Nobody is stoked about the fact that you are just really living to die. That's just not something that is raising my skirt. Okay. It sucks. It sucks that we have to die. It really does. Especially if you love life. And if you're a person who's constantly depressed, then you almost want out, you know? But it sucks, man. You know, nobody wants to die. And it doesn't matter who you are, how much money you have, what color you have. That's why I don't understand racism. I don't understand classism. You know, I don't understand any of that because at the end of the day, guess what? It does not fucking matter. Because none of us is going to be here in the next 100 years. Not one of us. Let's put it this way. Maybe some of you may be centenarians, but I don't know if you're say 10, 15 years old right now, in 100 years, you're not going to be here. Okay. I'll even give you 115. I don't know that there's anybody walking around that's older than that. Okay. Maybe you never know. In the eastern part of the world, there may be some monks or some Tibetan people up in the hills that are 200 years old, which we'll never get to meet, you know, that have found the secret to just stay away from other human beings and you can probably live forever. You know, if you don't let negativity get in your mind, and I am all over the place now, but that's because I'm kind of excited about just talking instead of talking about some crazy shit, just talking about some real shit here. Because the mind, man, the mind will fuck you if you let it. Your own mind is your worst enemy and you don't even know it. Okay, and the worst part about it is you can't run away from it. You can't get away from yourself. You cannot get away from your thoughts. They are there. They wake up with you. You go to sleep with them. So what you need to learn how to do is make your mind your friend. Because that is the only thing that you're going to take with you when you go, is your essence, your thoughts, what makes you you, what makes you tick, what it is about you that affects other people. That's what's going to be the only thing that people are left with when you're gone. When your body has decided it can do no more, your essence is all that will be left, and it will be all part of the ether. And guess what? That's not a bad thing. That's a real thing. Your essence is what makes you get up in the morning. Your essence is what makes your body move, your energy. Okay? Your energy is very real. And I've made this point before. If you don't think energy and ether is real, then how do you explain how we use cell phones? It's not attached to anything. Digital data is in the air. It's not attached to anything, but you have signals that are coming to this phone. They give it the picture, they give it the information that it has. You are the same way. What is inside of your body is the same thing that's inside of your phone. You are a receptor. You are a receiver and a transmitter to the universe. And you have vibes running in and out of you. Okay. And you can control those vibes. And I'm going to tell you something. If you can keep those vibes on a high frequency, chances are you'll have really good days most of the time. Exercise helps with that normally, not always, but normally exercise can help you release dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins to kind of keep you quote unquote happy. But see, more than happiness, I'd rather be at peace. And when I watched Jasmine's Instagram, I realized that she was a soul that was not at peace. And I think you never know. It could be related to her heart issues. Maybe she had a traumatic experience like I did and faced death. And let me tell you, that scares the shit out of you. And even when you don't realize it in the moment, you wake up one day and you're scared shitless. And everything scares you. You see an ambulance pass by, and I remember seeing a commercial a few years back, some type of medicine commercial. I don't even pay attention to those anymore. But the guy, every time the ambulance came past him, he kind of looked freaked out, like like it was gonna come for him. You know what I mean? I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Jen and I were sitting in a pizza shop one time and I saw an ambulance go by and I almost freaked out. I was thinking, wow, why is that ambulance there right now? Is the universe trying to hook me up? Is something getting ready to happen to me and I get ready to fall out? And luckily, the ambulance happens to be. I thought that the ambulance was there because I was getting ready to die. Where did that come from? What kind of weird shit is that? Why would my mind go there? But that's what our minds do. It reaches for the worst case scenario and it puts you in a place that you do not want to be. And it's hard to fight your way out of that. And I realized years later that the cancer scared the living shit out of me. Really, literally the living shit. Because from that point on, I was already dead. I wasn't living anymore. I was always focused on death, even now in this conversation. But see, here's the thing. I've kind of mastered that fear a little bit. So I can talk about it without actually being fearful of it. I'm actually at peace. I've accepted it. We got to go. We got to go, y'all. It sucks, but we got to go. And it's just a part of life. It actually is a part of life. It's in a way too, it's a rite of passage, okay? Because it's something that has to happen to you. I mean, think about it. If everybody lived on, there wouldn't be any room to walk around, okay? It has to evolve. You have to be a part of the cycle. You got to give up your body at some point and let someone else occupy the space that you're occupying. Otherwise, there's no room for anybody on the earth. If everybody was still here that was here hundreds and hundreds of years ago, you wouldn't even be able to breathe because all the oxygen would be gone. I mean, think about it logically. There's not enough room for that many living beings, animals, people on this planet. So it has to be a revolving door. And yes, it sucks. I'd love to stay here forever. I'd love to see what happens to technology in the next 50, 60 years. But chances are I'm not going to be around to see it. But as Eckhart Tolle would say, it's not good or bad. It just is what it is. And when you start listening to things like The Power of Now and internalize it and really get into it, it's a savior. It really is. It frees you from yourself. You're looking for a way to get out of your own mind. That's the way to do it. You got to get in the moment. Because when you're in your mind, what you're actually doing is reliving either the past or having anxiety and anticipation for what's going to happen in the future that you have no idea of. You're just anticipating something happening. And whatever that is that you're anticipating, chances are you're anticipating your own death, or you're anticipating something bad happening 9 out of 10 times. And when you're a little kid, a lot of that is good. You're anticipating really good things happening. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be famous. But when you get to a later stage in life and you've lived a lot of your life and you have a lot of that stuff already behind you, and either it happened or it didn't happen. Either way, when you got less time ahead of you, than you've got behind you, then you start thinking differently and you're able to accept death easier because you realize there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it, and it's coming, and it's coming quicker and quicker and quicker. So you got to get at peace. Otherwise, you will drive yourself crazy. You don't need nobody else to drive you because you drive your own self crazy. And when I heard her say she goes through depression, I was imagining that it probably was a lot like what I had gone through the past 10 years right after the cancer. Because I thought I was free. I'm like, hey, I made it. I beat cancer. Woohoo! You know? Couple years went by, all of a sudden started having panic attacks and focusing on the fact that, hey, I almost wasn't here. And then that just got worse and worse and worse. And it occurred to me that, hey, death is a real thing. Yeah, no shit. What'd you think it was? Fake? What, you thought it wasn't gonna happen to you? Everybody else but you? and then the depression starts to set in, and you start thinking about your loved ones dying and your kids dying. And I mean, it's just a death fest. And nobody likes to talk about it or admit it, but we all have those fears. And it's even worse for someone who has survived death, because then you realize the Grim Reaper was sitting right next to you and had his arm around you and was ready to take you with him. And for whatever reason, the universe said, no, not yet. Not that one, not yet. It is going to happen, but just not yet. But see, it's almost worse when you survive it, because then you're sitting here with like, what the fuck just happened? And then you start thinking about all that kind of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I meant to get off on that tangent. It helps to talk it out. I tell you that much. A big, huge thing that helped me was subliminal healing. Every night I put a headset on and I listen to positive affirmations. I retrain my subconscious mind so that it does not wander off into those dark places. And when it does, I fill my mind with acceptance. Because when I accept that, then I no longer fear it. Fear is the worst thing. Kennedy said it. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. No person has ever spoken a more truer word. Fear is a terrible thing to live with because it's debilitating. It keeps you from doing anything. Me being half blind, if I lived in fear, I would never step one foot outside this house. And trust you, most days I don't. But it's not because of fear. It's just because I like my cave. I got everything I need in here. I got my guitars, I got my keyboard, I got my drums, I got my computer. I got everything I need. Why would I want to go out? I got everything. I am at peace. Got music. And the cool thing is, when I do want to go out, I live at a beach. So I can go sit and stare at the ocean. What I can see of it. What I can still see of it. And I am blessed to still be able to see some parts of it. Peripherally. That's what keeps me from needing a walking stick or a dog. I have peripheral vision, even though that's fuzzy, but I do have peripheral vision. Central vision is overrated, y'all. I mean, it's not because, it helps you. You can drive and you can read. I can't do any of that unless I enlarge my screen on my phone. You know what I mean? But yeah, you'd be surprised how powerful peripheral vision is. Military people know how to use it, because if you ever watch those movies where those drill sergeants that tell you don't eyeball them. You ever see an officer and a gentleman? Don't eyeball me, boy. Soldiers use their peripheral vision a lot. I live with my peripheral vision. That is all I have, but it gets me through. But yeah, so I'm happy for Jasmine. I'm glad she gets to come to the United States. We got to talk one day, Jasmine, because I know what you're going through, baby girl, and it is not fun. But you can get better. You can get better. There's lots of ways to heal yourself from the inside out, you know. But only someone who has been through it and is living through that and day to day, because by no means am I completely cured, but I am way better off than I was even 4 years ago. I'm better off than I was last year. Every year it gets better. Every year it gets better. So, with that being said, I'm so glad. Who's that? Is that Vegan Knowledge over there? Hi, honey. Let me get you on the phone here. You need to make your mind your friend, right? Ether. Gracious. Well, thank you, baby. Well, you know me, Jen. Whenever I get off on that, that's where my heart is. I have a feeling that you never know. I may end up helping some people one day through my struggles. You know what I mean? Our struggles, because we both go through that. But we're here for each other and we help each other. So I'm so blessed to have you in my life. Thank you. You're my best friend. You know, when the person you love you actually like, that's a blessing. You know, when you can find your life mate and you actually have a best friend, a true best friend in that life mate, that's what it's all about. You know, I'm lucky to be able to have you to go through this life with. You know, Jen watched me go through a lot of those panic attacks, guys. You know, she helped me through them. You know, so I appreciate her so much for that. You know, and if she were to ever go through that, I'd be able to help her through it. You know, when she gets to having fears like that, you know what I mean? Who better than someone who's been through it? It's just like when she quit smoking, I was able to help her because I had quit smoking about 5 or 6 years before she did. And I only smoked for 6 years. You know, I only smoked for 6 years. I just wanted to give it a shot. So I get it. It was a cool thing and did it, been there, done that, and stopped. Got what I needed to out of it. But yeah, anybody out there that suffers with depression, you know, I'm here. You know, we can talk about it because it is something that is mental health is everything. If you don't have mental health, you have nothing. Even if you are in prime physical condition, your mind is stronger than your body because you can do things in your mind that you can't physically do. You know what I mean? Because your mind has that imagination, but you can kill yourself with your mind. Let me tell you, you know, it doesn't matter how strong you are physically. You have to be strong mentally to get through this life. You know, have to be strong mentally. That's why I love fasting. Fasting is perfect for somebody who is dealing with a lot of mental struggles because it gives you clarity. And at first, it gives you too much clarity. But it is something that is not only good for the body because it gives the body a rest. It doesn't have to digest food, so it gets to clean you out and gets to rebuild itself. Fasting is good for that. But it's also good for your mind because when you abstain, it takes a lot of strength to do that. It's a lot easier to just reach for that donut or reach for the slice of pizza or reach for whatever, a carrot. But when you deny yourself and you're like, nope, I'm just gonna sit here and chill. After a while, your body doesn't care. Your body doesn't need food like that. It's your mind that's telling you want to eat that food. You know? That's why, when I watch 90 Day Fiance and I see a lot of these characters go through some of the struggles that they go through, just let's take Jasmine, for example. The insecurities that she experiences is what drives her jealousy. And you might look at her and say, oh, she's a beautiful woman. She has nothing to be insecure about. But I'm telling you, Gino is probably less insecure than Jasmine is. Because Gino's just kind of resolved to be who he is. He's like Popeye, and I think I compared him to Bluto or one of them on one of my videos, but he is what he is, and that's it. He makes no bones about it. He wears his hats, and yep, I wear my shorts and my t-shirts, and yeah, this is me, take it or leave it. He knows he's not the best looking thing on earth. He knows he's not the sexiest man alive, but he's Gino, and that's all. It's good enough for him. And Jasmine loves him to death, and I love that because she's like, his unsexiness is what I love about him, because there's no pretenses. She likes what's real, and Gino is real, if nothing else. He can lie, but he's a real dude. So anyway, guys, I'm not going to keep you. I'm going to wrap it up. And I want you guys to have an awesome night. And I will be back mañana at 6 p.m. So I want everybody to take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and have a peaceful evening. Peace and blessings, y'all.